right, interesting answer. Your favorite fighter all time?
Roberto Duran.
Always liked him. You got to know him pretty well, right?
Yeah, Roberto Duran.
All right. Rate yourself. I know this is a tough question for you because you're very humble. Rate yourself among the all-time heavyweights.
I don't know. All I know is Ali's the greatest, and that's all I know. Anything after that doesn't really even matter.
So Ali against Tyson, both of you at your best. You're going to give him the edge?
No one can beat Ali. No one.
All right, how about hardest you ever hit anybody?
I don't know. Then I would have to go around and ask everybody that I hit. You know, I can't tell.
Nothing felt harder than the others?
No.
What about the hardest anybody ever hit you?
Wow. Holyfield hits hard. Lennox hits hard. Razor Ruddock hits hard. Man, there's been a lot of hard guys. Yeah, they've been hitting hard.
Interesting question. The best friend you ever had who was a boxer?
Maybe Mark Breland. Maybe
Jeff Fennick too?
Jeff Fennick. Yeah. Me, Jeff, Mark, yeah. The hunger, the determination, the desire, the will to just persevere. The fight before this, he got knocked down in the first round. He came back up 3 rounds later, and man, he gave that guy such a beating, man. The guy was comatose.
Mike, if I told you 10, 15 years ago when you were still an active fighter that one day you'd be a promoter, what would you have said to me?
Never in a million years. Never in a million years. I guess things happen for a reason, and I'm just very grateful. That's all I'm trying to convey is gratitude that I'm able to be involved in this situation, able to help other young fighters like Sammy, and make sure they don't become abused like I did.
All right, you ready for some quick questions, quick answers?
Go
all right. Let's start with, if you could have fought any fighter in your life, any weight, any era, who would you have picked that you would have liked to fight the most?
Floyd Mayweather.
I love it. Why?
Huh?
You want to knock him out?
Well, I would love to fight him. I wish he was my weight. Probably even.
Were you nervous before your first pro fight?
Absolutely. I knew I was going to beat the guy, but I wanted to do it looking good.
Right. Well, you don't show your nerves on stage, that's for sure. Showbox.
That's the art of a professional, to hide your nerves.
That's right. Cus taught you well. Showbox is about prospects. We're seeing some of your prospects tonight. What would you say if I had to ask you for one most important attribute that a prospect needs? What would you say it is?
Man, the willingness to sacrifice everything, to dedicate his life to this, and to make everything secondary. Just like in a relationship, you have to marry this, you have to be truthful to this, you have to be loyal to it, and you get the best out of it.
So dedication.
Absolutely.
All right, last two. Favorite musician?
Stevie Wonder.
Favorite TV show?
My favorite TV show?
You can say Showbox, it's okay.
All right, I'll say Showbox.
We appreciate it, Mike, and we look forward to seeing a couple of your fighters in the next 2 fights.
I'm very grateful that Showbox gave me the opportunity to showcase my fighters, and I hope I have another opportunity to do it again. It was really wonderful. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Mike. Good to talk to you. We'll throw it back to Barry.
All right, thanks very much, Steve. And we should point out a lot of those questions were questions.
Favorite athlete outside of boxing?
My favorite athlete outside of boxing? Wow, that's quite a few of them.
Give me a couple.
I like, wow. The Serena Williams and her sister. Man, I like Mary Decker when she was running. Man, I like Maradona. It's just, man, they're such a rare, great athlete. Such a great.
All right. More nervous before your first ring walk for your first professional fight, or backstage before your first performance on Broadway? When were you more nervous?
You're a champion, I respect that.
We must take the most stringent action available to us. $3 million and revocation of license.
My spirit was just gone to do anything else because I couldn't do what I truly love to do.
I make a motion that we grant Mr. Tyson's petition for reinstatement, that he be allowed to box again in the state of Nevada.
After a 19-month enforced hiatus, two-time heavyweight champion, the enigmatic yet always exciting Mike Tyson returned to the Las Vegas Strip to enter the third and most likely last chapter of his long and controversial career. Just a few hours ago, in this now empty ring at the MGM Grand Garden, we witnessed Mike Tyson's dramatic return to the ring in a struggle with a fearless former champion, Francois Botha. Hi, I'm Steve Albert. 14 years ago, an 18-year-old phenomenon entered a professional boxing ring. He became the youngest in heavyweight history to win the world title. No athlete in recent memory has consistently generated more excitement or created more controversy than Mike Tyson. His life has been acted out on the most public of stages, a challenge for the most sophisticated and mature of people, and a crushing burden to this complex and often confused young man. Now, at the age of 32, after 3 years in prison, 2 losses to Holyfield, the public humiliations of the hearings and examinations of the past year and a half, he faced former champion Francois Botha in the first test of this all-important second comeback. Mike Tyson has continued to confound, baffle, and confuse many of us who have closely covered his tumultuous career. And after all these years, the only thing we know for certain is that he is a puzzle. No one, not even himself, can solve. We stumbled upon this obscure quote from French philosopher Blaise Pascal. Perhaps this simple eloquence says everything there is to say.
I'll tell you what, this is unbelievable. He's disqualified. He's out.
They entered into a war of words.
Y'all guys know what I do. Y'all know what I do. I put people in body bags when I'm right. So we know what's gonna happen.
I've never had any fear in me, and I believe that I can't be intimidated.
I never came in the ring trying to intimidate anybody. I just came in, presented myself. And whatever happened, if that happened, they choose to be intimidated, cool. Regardless of what happens, they're gonna get hit eventually.
When I land, I know I'm getting it. I know with my power that I have too, that I can hit Mike and take him out.
My man beefing, we heard this 15 years. I've been doing this, we've been hearing this from different guys. We'll see, we'll see.
Mike is right there, and he can't fight going back. And that inside fighting, that is his game plan, and he wants his hands free, and once you tie him up, Mike can't do nothing.
And I know you guys don't think he's gonna beat me. I know you don't think that. Regardless of my layoff, I know no one believes that.
I see Mike burning up most of his energy in the first few rounds because he won that knockout. And then I see Mike slowing down after 3-4 rounds, slowing down, and then he's vulnerable.
People say anything, but the night the fight comes, I'm ready to rumble. My kids are gonna be scared of me. Look at me, man. I was frustrated, I was mad, I was blooded, I was bleeding. And I was a little dizzy, and I thought they were going to stop the fight, and I believed that he was doing it intentionally. I'm sorry, but shit, I'm human too. Nobody was defending me in there. Later on, like a week or two, as everything continued to escalate, I said, oh, I f***ed up. You know, I'm suspended. I'm screwed.
I further move that Mike Tyson be suspended.
For some reason, I feel like I'm Norman Bates up here with all the doctors and everything.
The maximum fine of $3 million and revocation of license.
I stayed in Brooklyn and Flatbush Avenue in Brownsville. I stayed there, but mostly the whole summer. You stayed in a retrospect, and I used to look back and see where I came from. So people get shot, see people fighting, see people quarreling over dice games. My dumb ass got in a dice game. I even got in some arguments. And you know, man, I used to put myself back in perspective and said, this is a hell of a life.
I am so sorry.
Mr. Tyson has met his burden.
Trust me, this won't happen anymore,
I'm
man.
prepared to give you one last chance in Nevada.
I hear somebody say, you're the greatest, and I don't know who the hell they're talking about sometimes. But when you hear a million people telling you you're great every day, you know what I mean, sometimes that goes to your head. So I'm just trying to put everything in perspective. You have to understand, I come from a place where one moment I'm in a drug dealer's house and I got a bunch of people on the floor robbing. The next thing you know, I got my hand raised in the air and they said the youngest heavyweight champion in the world, and that's an overwhelming load to handle.
He is the youngest ever to win the heavyweight title, Mike Tyson.
When it comes to sheer excitement, there are few, if any, events like a Mike Tyson prize fight in Las Vegas. Here are just some of the sights and sounds we discovered this fight week.
Tyson by brutal knockout.
Go Bosa!
Kill this mother.
Off this chip. Tyson in 3.
Mike still gonna knock him out.
TKO.
I can't wait for Saturday.
The white buffalo's extinct.
Go Bosa!
Tyson at the 6.
Mike Tyson continues to fascinate.
Tyson. He's back.
Allahu Akbar!
233 pounds, 223 pounds.
So many of Tyson's opponents have lost before the first bell, frozen by terror and intimidation. Yet over his 9-year career, Francois Botha has earned a reputation for being a fearless and tenacious competitor, qualities we witnessed on this night. So as both combatants prepared for their 10-round bout here at the MGM Grand,
I don't have big dreams and stuff like that. That's just not who I am. I just like to kick some ass, have some fun, you know what I mean? I just need to be Mike Tyson. And everything else is a foregone conclusion.
Those were the words of Blaise Pascal over 300 years ago. Of course, I don't think he had Mike Tyson in mind when he uttered those words. But what does the public think of Tyson today?
Big and bad.
Awesome. Disgusting. Macho man.
Vicious fury.
Laid it on, pouring it on.
Psycho.
Extraordinary.
About 30 different people.
Pig.
He's the best in the world.
You probably don't want me to say.
Trash talker.
I dare you talk to me like that. You should get up and kneel to me now, and I'll spare you the night of the 28th.
Mixed up.
Big, black, and hungry.
Question mark.
Unpredictable.
Very often hungry.
Fighting Holyfield in the right ear.
The ball.
Bulldog.
Very rock and roll.
Incredible.
Ferocious.
Power. I don't think I'd like to fight him myself.
And he is back.